Welcome. Don't go away. Our feature film will begin following our movie introduction by our host and mystery master Randall Schaefer. And then stay with us until the end. You'll be glad you did.
Murder mystery movies from the 1930s and 1940s. Hastings Mystery Theater. Before we get on with the show, please remember to give a thumbs up for this movie, and subscribe and select the notification bell if you've not done so already.
Good evening. Welcome to Hastings Mystery Theater. I'm your host and mystery master, Randall Schaefer. Tonight, the corridors of mystery take us all the way back to 1936 for a Columbia production, Panic on the Air. Our movie begins with a World Series game between the New York Giants and the Detroit Tigers. Detroit loses the game because they did not use their star pitcher. Well, a reporter learns that the star pitcher was hit on the head to keep him from playing, and this leads to further investigation, which ultimately leads to murder. Lou Ayres plays a sports reporter. He was born in Minneapolis in 1908. Ayres was a natural musician who left school at a fairly early age to start a band. He later played banjo and guitar for other bands and auditioned for movie roles between gigs. He landed his first movie role in 1929, and in 1930 he won acclaim for his role in the ultimate anti-war film All Quiet on the Western Front. But this did not make him an in-demand actor. He spent the 1930s playing in B-movies, and he's best remembered for playing Dr. Kildare in the 9-movie series of the same name. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, Lou Ayres declared himself a conscientious objector. Movie producers rejected him and his career was destroyed. But after the war, it was revealed that he had indeed served as a medic in the Pacific, and he was in the first wave landing on Leyte. Well, Hollywood forgave him, and he was a successful actor for the rest of his life. In 1961, Lou Ayres was offered the lead in a Dr. Kildare TV series. It was intended to be a sequel to the original Dr. Kildare movie series 30 years earlier. Well, he turned down the role because the sponsor was going to be a cigarette company. The role went to Richard Chamberlain. Lou Ayres died in 1996 at the age of 88. Let's return to 1936 and enjoy Panic on the Air.
Game. The last half of the ninth inning in the score, New York 2, Detroit 2. Do you get it, folks? That moment we read about. 2 men on base, 2 outs, and Kelly steps up to the plate. Listen to those Detroit rooters. They're yelling for Lefty Dugan. Lefty's due to pitch today, but he hasn't even been on the field. Nobody seems to know why. There's the pitch. Kelly smacks it. It's over the third baseman's head. The crowd's going wild. There's a man coming home. He makes it. He's home, and the Giants win the World Series. Well, too bad for the Tigers, folks. New York State's in the ninth inning rally and topped the old flag. But it's been a wonderful game, and it's come to you with the compliments of Gordon's Garters. They never let you down. And now, in response to numerous telephone calls, your correspondent will definitely try to find out why Lefty Dugan was not sent in to pitch today. I know a lot of you think the game might have ended differently if Lefty had been out there in a Detroit uniform. So listen in tonight at 10 o'clock to my regular I Tell It First news broadcast, and I'll give you the lowdown. I guess that's about all. And this is Jerry Franklin signing off. So long, folks. Give me a hot dog.
You know, baseball's getting to be like the old gray mare.
Yeah?
She ain't what she used to be. Why wasn't nobody even beamed with a pop bottle?
For a quiet guy, Andy, you've got some of the fuzziest ideas. What do you want to see, a murder?
Might not be a bad idea. Mr. Gordon was saying only yesterday.
Sure, the Garter business needs a bracer, and old man Gordon wants a sensation.
Sure.
Sure. Well, sensations are born, not made. Come on, I want to go to the clubhouse and see why Lefty didn't pitch.
Hi, Jerry. Come on in. Hi, Andy.
He's been stopping balls with his head again.
Yeah, bean balls.
No, that's just where the...
Go on, what happened to you?
Well, nothing. Well, that is... Listen, Jerry, you've always been a right guy. Can you hold on to a secret?
Give, Lefty, give.
Well, yesterday I'm walking down 49th Street, and a flower pot falls out of a window and it just misses me.
Yeah, somebody's throwing flowers at him, forgets to take out the pot.
Well, naturally, I think it's an accident. And I didn't pay any more attention to it until
Go on.
Well, it was no accident. Somebody dropped that on purpose.
How do you know?
Well, because today I'm walking down the same street, and I spot the dame smiling from my doorway, and she's tipping me the friendly come on.
And you fell for it like a dope?
Yeah, but listen, Jerry, she calls me by name.
Was she good looking?
No, she was the hardest-faced blonde I ever seen in my life. But she did say she's been admiring my pitching all season.
Yeah, and then she hit you over the head.
No, the guy done that.
What guy?
The guy that come popping out from behind the stairway ups, and he conks me right here. They give my pockets a once-over before I get my senses back, they beats it.
What do you look like, you know?
Well, I ain't sure. It all happened so quick. And besides, I ain't anxious to get mixed up with them gamblers.
Gamblers?
Sure, who else would want to keep me from pitching today?
Gamblers wouldn't go through your pockets, Lefty. Come on, what you been up to the last couple of days?
Well, nothing. Well, maybe it's something about them $5.
What $5?
That I got from the sandwich man.
From the sandwich man. Now, we're getting someplace.
Sure, he's advertising shiny white toothpaste, and he stops me on Broadway yesterday morning, shows me a 5-spot, tells me a sporty-looking guy walks up and hands it to him just like that.
What'd you do?
Well, he wants to know if it's any good.
What was it?
Well, there was nothing wrong with it, except somebody took a pencil and drew a mustache on Lincoln, and I tells him it's a phony and gives him $1 for it.
Going in for petty larceny, huh?
Let's see the $5.
Well, I spent it this morning at Hickson's Tavern.
Oh, you didn't tell the cops about getting hurt, did you?
Not me. I don't want to get mixed up with them gamblers.
Good. Keep your mouth shut. Stay away from 49th Street. Come on, Andy.
Okay, Jerry. Come on, Pee-wee. Rub this out.
Well, hello, Mr. Franklin. And you don't think them gamblers had nothing to do with it?
Nah, they don't work that way.
Why should anybody want to paste Lefty?
I'll give you a better one. Why should Lincoln have a mustache? Yeah, that's it. Just like he said. A mustache right across Lincoln's face. Anything the matter with it, Mr. Franklin? I don't think so, but I'd like to have it for a souvenir. Let's change, huh?
Okay by me. 1 5 is as good as another.
That's right. Hey, what's the 15th letter of the alphabet?
Oh,
And the 10th?
J.
6th?
F.
O-J-F-O. Doesn't make sense.
What doesn't?
Well, you see those curling marks on Lincoln's upper lip?
Sure, it's a mustache.
It looks like a mustache. It's a string of numbers. Look. 15, 10, 6, 15.
Yeah, but what...
I thought they might have something to do with the letters of the alphabet, but no dice.
Sounds screwy to me.
Probably some kind of a code. Those numbers stand for something.
Kind of a secret message, huh?
Yeah, somebody wanted to get a message through without it being noticed. Wait a minute, I've got a hunch. You remember Major Bliss? Cryptographer, the fellow who deciphers codes. I interviewed him on the radio last night.
Well, you think it would mean anything to him?
Try. Come on.
How'll it be, mister?
I'm looking for a 5-spot a guy spent in here.
With a mustache on Lincoln?
Yeah.
Say, what's all this shooting? First, Mr. Franklin comes in here.
Did he get the bill?
Sure, I just swapped with him.
Thanks.
316 West 49th.
Okay.
Jerry. I don't want to spoil your fun, but all this running around hunting up a
Cryptographer?
well, it ain't getting us no place.
Don't be a sap. There's a story in this.
Sure, all we need is a nice fresh murder to make people listen to your news broadcast.
Hey, driver, go around the block.
What's the matter?
I may be crazy, but I think that cab's following us.
You're probably crazy, all right. Hey, he turned the corner right after us. He's trailing us, all right.
Sure. Hey, try and shake that cab, driver. I'll pay the fines. Look, pull up ahead there quick and stop.
Nobody in it but the driver.
Seen that guy before. Follow that cab.
No use, partner. He just busted through the lights and went down an alley.
All right, forget it. We'll go on to our address now.
Okay.
Andy, I've got it.
Got what?
Where I saw that taxi driver. Remember when we left Dugan at the ballpark?
Yeah, that's right. He was trying to get in.
Sure, when the groundkeeper mentioned my name, he probably trailed us to Higson's.
Hey, maybe your hunch about somebody trying to get that 5 spot is right.
If there isn't a story in this, I'll wear a mustache myself. Hello, Major.
Well, I'm glad to see you again, Franklin.
Hi, Major.
Sit down. What takes you boys away from the microphone?
Believe it or not, a mustache on Lincoln.
A what?
Here, take a peek at this.
15, 10, 6, 15.
What do you suppose those numbers stand for?
Haven't the slightest idea. Where'd you get this?
From a friend of mine, in a roundabout way.
Any reason to believe these numbers are a code?
Plenty. Somebody's moving heaven and earth to get that bill back.
Well, let's see if there's anything else written on it.
This is quite a laboratory you have here.
Yes, we use various acids and reagents in this business.
Reagents?
Yes, solution to bring out hidden writing.
See anything, Major?
Nothing but the numbers. They're written with an indelible pencil.
Do you think you can figure it out?
I'm afraid you're asking the impossible. Codes can only be deciphered when there's a basis to work on. Enough letters or numbers to set up a determining factor.
Such as?
Such as how often various letters occur. E is always used most, A is next, and so forth.
And we only have 4 of the numbers.
Furthermore, I doubt if it's based on any workable code. Probably a secret reference that only someone with a definite knowledge can apply.
I'm afraid you'll have to make that a little plainer.
Well, if you dined with a girl in a cafe at 5th Avenue and 49th Street, and she sent you a card with 549 written on it, you'd know what she referred to, wouldn't you?
Sure, he forgot to pay the bill.
Well, why should she refer to a location?
Well, let's pursue our hypothetical case further. Supposing the young lady wanted you to return to the spot where you lunched.
She'd call me up, wouldn't she?
Her parents might prevent her calling.
But why should...
Why should she want you to go back to the rendezvous? Perhaps she left something valuable and wanted you to pick it up.
Oh, I see. Yes, that does make sense. Somebody can't get in touch with the blonde, but they wanted to go to a certain spot and pick up something valuable.
It's logical, even though it is vague.
I only wish we knew what was behind all this.
Well, I wish I could be more helpful.
Guess we'll just have to dig further into the matter. Thanks anyway, Major.
If there's anything else I can do, I don't hesitate to call on me.
That's a promise. So long.
All right.
Not a cab in sight. Come on, let's walk.
All right.
Smoke.
Did you get a good look at him?
Yeah, it's the same guy who was waiting for us to come out.
Well, did you get the license of the cab?
Oh, I wish I had. Come on. Hey, that must be him. It's the only shiny white sandwich man we've seen. Hold it, driver. Hey there, old-timer. We want to talk to you.
I ain't done nothing, Governor.
Now, take it easy. All we want to do is ask a couple of questions. Here's $10 for your trouble.
Is it any good?
Better than that 5 you got yesterday.
Oh. How did you know?
Never mind. We just want to know who gave it to you.
No harm in telling, I suppose. A sporty-looking guy comes out of a building yesterday morning, and he's smiling so friendly like. I said, "Good morning, Governor." And right out of a clear sky, he slips me the fin.
Did you ever see him before?
Never saw him before in my life. So help me.
Did anybody else come along and ask you about the 5 spot?
Yeah.
A little short woman with black hair?
Nope, a big, husky, tough-looking blonde.
you tell her what you did with the bill?
Sure. I even pointed out the guy I slipped it to when he passes a few minutes later.
Ah, that's fine. Thanks, old-timer. Come on, Andy.
Now what?
So that's how our blonde friend got on Lefty's trail. Well, it all ties up, except one thing.
Yeah, what's it all about?
Hello, baby.
Hello, Mr. Franklin. Mr. Gordon wants to see you in the audition room.
Something tells me we're due for another lecture on why garters are falling. Hello, boss. Looking for me?
If you'll excuse me, I'll go and check up. You're on in 3 minutes, Franklin.
Right.
You realize, young man, that in the past 6 weeks the sale of Gordon's garters has fallen off 30%?
32%, Mr. Gordon.
32%. And do you realize further that this has cost my company over $70,000?
$73,000, Mr. Gordon.
What a letdown.
Now, in the month of December, we sold over 4,000 gross of garters. Do you know why?
Probably because people wanted a good, cheap Christmas present.
Because the people were listening to your broadcasts. Just before the holidays, you were able to solve the Brady murder and broadcast the news before the papers were able to print it.
It was a lucky break, Mr. Gordon.
And then the month before, you saw that kidnapper at the football game.
I just happened to see a man the police were looking for.
Franklin, I'm paying you $3,000 a week to cover all sporting events and broadcast a daily program called I Tell It First. But in the past 3 months, you haven't told anything that hasn't been spread all over the front pages of the afternoon papers.
Now, what would you like to have me do? Commit a murder?
I don't care what you do, so long as you stimulate public interest in garters. And remember, the option to renew your contract comes up next week.
Oh, keep your garters on, Mr. Gordon. We'll get a break before long. I have friends in every police station.
Yes, and so have all the newspaper reporters. Franklin, I want action, and I want it now.
This note just came for you, Mr. Franklin. Oh, thanks. Excuse me. 30 seconds. Come on, come on. Hey, get a load of this. If you want to live, bring that $5 bill to the Carteret Hotel tonight. Be in the lobby at 11 o'clock, wait 15 minutes, and then have yourself paged. If everything is satisfactory, I'll hold out my hand for the bill.
The blonde.
All right. She means business, too.
I don't like this. Come on, Elephant Ears is waiting.
Good evening, friends. This is Jerry Franklin speaking, coming to you with the compliments of Gordon's garters. They never let you down. Not a blonde in sight. Don't be daffy. She works here.
Do you think it's a good idea to let someone have that $5 bill?
Why not? We know the numbers on it. Let's let them have it. See where it takes us. Would you stop worrying? Here, buy yourself a candy bar. I'm going to look around.
How would you like to go steady for about 15 or 20 minutes?
Listen, I'm married to a policeman, and my brother's a lightweight champion of Passaic.
What kind of candy bars you got? How many fellas you say your brother knocked out?
26.
How many fight?
26.
I imagine your father's very athletic.
Oh, no. No, Dad's a shotgun expert.
Could I have my change, please?
I want you to page Mr. Franklin for me. I'll be waiting in the corner.
Yes, sir. Paging Mr. Franklin. Paging Mr. Franklin. Paging Mr. Franklin. Paging Mr. Franklin. Paging Mr. Franklin.
Paging Mr. Franklin.
Here, boy.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Franklin doesn't answer.
That's all right. Forget it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Franklin, let me have the bill.
Huh? Who, me?
Yes, you.
Well, will any bill do, or do you have a particular one in mind?
The $5 bill you were told about in the note.
So you wrote that note?
Give it to me.
If you'll give me one good reason.
I could give you a dozen. The main one is your life will be safer if that bill is out of your possession.
Well, won't it be just as dangerous for you?
I'll have to take that chance.
If you don't mind my saying so, you don't look like the kind of a person that tries to extract money from strangers.
I'm in a hurry, Mr. Franklin.
What would you do if I called the cops and had you taken in for extortion?
I don't think you'll do that. It may be indiscreet to accept $5 from a man, but it certainly isn't criminal.
It's a marked bill.
Is it?
What made you think I'd even come here at all?
I wasn't sure, but I hoped you would.
Well, I'm probably making a mistake. Wait a minute. As long as I'm playing ball, I want to ask one question. Does that bill belong to you?
It does now. Goodbye, Mr. Franklin.
You're not walking in any trouble.
If I am, it won't involve you.
Well, why can't I help you?
You can, by forgetting all this.
Who was that?
The nicest girl we ever met.
Well, did she take the bill?
She did. Let's follow her.
Follow that cab and hurry.
Hey! Ain't we carrying this pretty far?
Oh, that girl is traveling on her nerve, Andy. She needs help. Miss Mary Kramer.
I know a girl in Oregon named Mary.
Give me a pass key, quick.
Now we can see. Hey! What?
That dame's dead. Here's how she got away.
Looks like the nicest girl we ever met turned out to be pretty tough.
She didn't do it.
Well, she came through the door less than 2 minutes ago.
It takes blood at least 10 minutes to congeal. That woman was dead when the girl came in the door.
Well, who did it?
If we knew the answer to that, we wouldn't have to worry about our option.
Well, there's one thing I gotta admit, Jerry. You sure can pick lively playmates.
Police headquarters.
Hey, wait a minute. We don't want to get mixed up in this.
Police headquarters, give me Inspector Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald speaking.
I've got a tip for you, Inspector. There's a woman been killed in apartment 210, the Kennett Arms on West 90th Street.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, what's the idea?
I want that blonde identified.
Which is just what I don't want to be. Come on, let's get out of here, huh?
Yes, you're right, Andy. It might be embarrassing.
O'clock.
Yeah.
You're due at the racetrack in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, you picked house on fire to win the big steeplechase today.
He'll gallop in.
He's been scratched.
Well, I pick him and they scratch him.
McNulty!
I'm coming.
Sorry, got no time to waste. Mr. Franklin, no get up plenty soon. Rain fall from heaven like heavy dew.
All right. This country needs his longer nights.
Good, somebody catch him sleep. Me no catch him sleep last night.
What happened to you?
Nothing happened to me. Happened to telephone. Ring all night.
Yeah, well, why didn't you answer it?
McNulty, answer plenty. All the time. Call or hang up. No make sense.
That is funny.
Funny? You think so funny? When somebody try to break in during night?
Break in?
Sure. Only honorable door chain. Prevent.
Well, they're still at it. Where's the morning paper?
Front page.
Widow of Jess Spencer slain. After breakfast, McNulty. Jess Spencer, wasn't that the kidnapper that was sent up for 20 years some time back?
Yeah, kidnapped the son of a building contractor named Connor, collected 250 grand, was caught. Died a couple of weeks ago in the big house.
Oh. The slain woman was known to be friendly with other underworld characters, and after an anonymous tip to police headquarters last night, was found murdered in the apartment of Mary Kramer, whose arrest is expected hourly. What a story. The wife of a notorious criminal and a beautiful girl accused of murder.
Sure, all we gotta do is find out why the dame was murdered, who done it, and what them numbers mean on that $5 bill.
Well, the thing I can't figure out is what possible connection there could be between a hard-faced blonde and a girl like Mary.
She's a pretty nice girl.
Something tells me the taxi driver's the one we've got to find.
Something tells me he don't want to be found.
Well, you know, don't you, that the police are liable to locate that poor girl, lock her up, and charge her with murder?
I know that the big steeplechase goes on in less than 2 hours, and we're due to broadcast it.
Oh, take it easy, Andy. No self-respecting horse is going to start unless I'm at the microphone. Look at those horses, folks, as nervous as chorus girls waiting to make an entrance. As sleek and well-groomed as athletes as they line up for the 10th annual running of the Atlantic Steeplechase. Now there's the barrier. Number 3 is causing a little trouble. He almost threw his jockey. Now they're lining up again. They're waiting for the compliments of Gordon's garters. Oh, I see Mrs. Johnny May Abney waving her arms down there in the lower box. As everyone knows, she's the world-famous owner of,
Dixie Dan.
Of Dixie Dan. Well, it looks like they're about ready. They are. Oh, here they come down the straightaway with Red Flame leading. Dixie Dan second, Sir Hiram third. They're heading for the first jump. Georgia Peach that fell out there, folks, but the jockey's unhurt. He's up and walking off the field. And now they're coming into the 3/4. And it's Dixie Dan leading, Red Flame second, Sir Hiram third. Oh, a bad fall out there, folks. 2 horses down. They're sending for the ambulance to take away the jockey. And now they're coming into the stretch, and it's Dixie Dan still leading. Across the finish line, and it's Dixie Dan. Dixie Dan wins the Atlantic Steeplechase with the compliments of Gordon's garters. They never let you down. What a race, folks. What a race. A popular winner gallops home with the bacon. And now, in keeping with our policy of getting our listeners first-hand information, I'm going to get some of the celebrities here today to say a few words. First of all, here comes Finn Harrigan. You've all heard of Finn. They say you've been on a horse race at the number of fleas in a dog. Hello there. Hello, Mr. Harrigan. Would you mind saying a few words into the microphone about the race?
Well, folks, it was a great race, and the best horse won.
That was Finn Harrigan, ladies and gentlemen, giving you the inside lowdown. And now my assistant will try to get you a few more notables. Take it away, Andy.
Well, it's a very exciting race, folks, and everybody is very excited.
Hey, this bill you handed me, what's the idea?
Oh, I don't know. I always sort of do that for luck.
Luck?
Yeah, you know, like spilling part of a drink. Every time I win a big bet, I always slip a fin to the first guy that says hello.
Oh, I get it.
Sure. That's why everybody calls me Finn Harrigan, because I'm always handing out fivers, understand?
Did you give a 5 spot to a sandwich man on Broadway day before yesterday?
Come to think about it, I believe I did, Jerry. I was coming out of a wirehouse after winning a race in New Orleans, and this sandwich man says hello, so I hands him a 5 spot. Understand? But say, You're the second guy asking about that. What's all the shouting about?
You mean somebody else asked you if you gave away a bill?
Yeah, a dame. 2 nights ago, she comes to my hotel and wants to take a gander at my bankroll.
A big, tough-looking blonde?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Tell me about it.
Well, that same afternoon at the track, I'm cashing a mutual ticket at one window, and this dame sees she's standing at the next. She's got her purse open, and she dropped some bills on the floor. Well, I helped her pick 'em up, and I must have got one of hers mixed up with mine.
I suppose by the time she tracked you down, you'd already given her bill to the sandwich man.
Well, that's the way I figured it. Anyway, after I tells her about the sandwich man, well, she goes away looking for him.
Look, by any chance, is this the woman that lost the bill?
That sure looks like her, Jerry.
Thanks, Finn.
Of course, I don't like to bring this up, Jerry, but I've been trying to figure out what we're going to do if Mr. Gordon don't renew your contract next week.
All right, Cheerful. What'll we do?
Well, first we'll give up your penthouse.
Oh, we'll give up my penthouse.
Yeah. And after that, we'll let McNulty go.
Oh, we'll let McNulty go.
After that...
After that, we'll probably get a couple of sandwich boards and parade up and down Broadway.
Hey, wait a minute. Look at that,
Well, it's the driver's license and his picture, so what?
Yeah, but it's not the same fellow driving the cab.
Sure it is. He's growing a mustache, that's all. At least... Andy, you've solved it.
Solved what?
How we're going to find that taxi driver we're looking for.
Well, how?
Well, you're a genius, a champion, a lifesaver, don't you see? All cab drivers have to register their picture with police headquarters to get a license.
Yeah, but there must be 28,004 of them.
Well, sure, we can eliminate the yellows, the checkers, and the red tops. That leaves only the independents. Hey, driver, downtown, police headquarters, and step on it.
Okay. It's no use. They're all starting to look alike.
Just keep going.
Here's some we missed. If we could only stop for a sandwich, huh?
Now, you're too fat now. Wait a minute, look at this. That's him.
Yeah.
Martin Danker. 239, this is it.
I still think we ought to let Inspector Fitzgerald in on this.
Sure, I'd let every reporter in town grab off the yarn. We got plenty of time to call in the cops. Come on. Well, what's the matter with you?
I don't like this neighborhood.
Well, you ought to like it. You were born here.
Well, that's why I don't like it.
Come on, you big bully. This is it, all right.
What are you going to do if he starts shooting?
Duck. You listen to me, kid. I'm through fooling. Hand over that 5-spot.
I tell you, I didn't bring it with me.
You're lying. Better give me that bill or you'll get the same thing your blonde friend did.
Put your shoulder against that door.
Whoever that is, you better keep your mouth shut or you'll be pushing up daisies. I'm leaving.
Where'd that cab driver go?
Out that window.
Well, he got away. You didn't get hurt.
No.
You were walking into trouble after all, weren't you?
I came here because I was certain that the Danker killed...
Mrs. Spencer.
Yes.
I don't like to interrupt, but you're on the air in 20 minutes.
All right, we've got to get her out of here first.
Where are you going to take me?
My place. You'll be safe there until I get home from the studio.
You're not going to turn me over to the police?
Well, as a matter of fact, I hadn't any such idea.
Well, if you'll just put me in a cab,
Well, wait a minute. I think we're entitled to a few explanations. Unless I miss my guess entirely, you need some help. You're in a pretty tight spot, you know.
All right.
That's better.
Here he comes.
You got 30 seconds. That's all it takes for an earthquake to wreck a city. Good evening, friends. This is Jerry Franklin speaking. And has your correspondent been waiting for this opportunity? Why, for over an hour, folks, I've been sitting here biting my nails, tearing my hair, scarcely able to wait until you're all settled back comfortably before your radios. Now, flash news, folks. Pin back your ears and get a load of this.
Is Franklin on the air yet?
Yes, yes. Will you come in, Mr. Gordon?
How long has he been on?
Just a few minutes, sir.
The police are in a quandary. No one knows who killed the blonde Mrs. Spencer. But your correspondent has inside information in this case. This very evening, accompanied by my secretary, I went to a certain address in the outskirts of Chinatown. I arrived in time to assist, fortunately, in preventing another victim from being identified in tomorrow morning's newspapers. Now, I wish it were possible to tell you more of the details at this time, but there are still many facts to be investigated. However, in keeping with the policy of Gordon's Garters, your correspondent will stick on the job in a determined effort to find out the identity of the murderer. And furthermore, it is hereby promised that if you will listen in at the same time tomorrow night, the entire mystery will be unraveled for your benefit. Now, this is Jerry Franklin signing off, and remember, I tell it first. So long.
Is this on the level?
Oh, Mr. Gordon, I never slip. It's a policy I learned from the Garter business.
Oh, Mr. Franklin, Inspector Fitzgerald wants to speak to you on the phone.
I'll tell him I've left the studio.
But he
And
said...
you might suggest that he can find out everything he wants to know by listening in on tomorrow night's program.
If this is a trick to get your contract renewed, I
As
want
far as contracts are concerned, when I spill this story on the air, I'll have more sponsors than a battleship.
Jackie.
Hey in there.
Sorry, Mr. Franklin not in. Come tomorrow. Goodbye.
It's me. Open the door, stupid.
He talking to you?
No, he's not talking to me. Go ahead and open the door.
Oh, you make getaway, huh? Come home after all.
What do you mean, getaway?
Policeman called, saying looking for you.
Keep your kimono on, McNulty. Where's the girl?
She's laying down resting. Say, look, Jerry, wasn't you taking a chance with what you said on the radio tonight?
Now, we got the greatest story ever broadcast.
We also get policemen calling on telephone, too.
Next time they call, I'll talk to them. Hello, Mary. You feeling better?
A lot. Only I don't quite understand.
Neither do I. Come on, sit down. McNulty, some coffee. Chop, chop.
Coffee ready. 5 minutes.
Cigarette?
No, thank you.
Well, where do we begin?
Your friend has told me how you traced Danker. I guess I'm pretty lucky you got there when you did.
I'm still wondering why you went there at all.
Because I was certain he'd kill Mrs. Spencer, and I was right, too. He followed her to my apartment the night you gave me the bill.
Well, why did he knock her off?
He thought she double-crossed him by letting somebody else get that bill.
All I can say is you were taking a big chance.
I know. I realized that when I made Danker's acquaintance and later Mrs. Spencer's. But it was for a definite purpose.
For what purpose?
To get that $5 bill.
Now, those marks across the face of Lincoln. Would you mind telling us what they mean?
I don't know.
You mean you can't read the code?
No. It looks as though I'm going to have to take you completely into my confidence, Mr. Franklin.
That's what I've been trying to get you to do for some time now.
When Spencer kidnapped John Connor's son and received $250,000 ransom, only $50,000 of it was found when he was caught by the police.
And the other 200 grand?
So carefully hidden that no one could find it.
Well, what does the $5 bill to do with it?
That was Spencer's scheme to let his wife know the hiding place.
Boy, it's terrific. It's the greatest story I've ever heard. A missing fortune, a treasure hunt.
And when Spencer was dying in the prison hospital, he smuggled that bill out.
His wife couldn't read the code?
She kept the bill, though. And when Danker, who knew Spencer, heard about it, he tried to wheedle it out of her.
She wouldn't let him see it?
She wouldn't let anyone see it.
Well, now, look, Mary. I've got just one more question. But you don't have to answer unless you want to.
What is it?
Well, I can understand the others trying to get their hands on the ransom money. Well, why are you mixed up in it?
Because I'm Mary Connor.
You mean it was your old man's dough?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you go to the police?
I did. They were very kind, but said there wasn't any new evidence to warrant opening up the case again.
And in the meantime, you've gotten yourself mixed up in a swell little murder.
So sorry, Mr. Franklin not home. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's what you told me over the telephone. When do you expect him?
Maybe tomorrow.
All right, open up. I'll wait.
Come back tomorrow. Goodbye.
Hey, you open the door. Come on with you.
You looking for me, Inspector?
Oh,
So you're here after all, huh?
Well, now, if that's an observation, Fitz, old boy, I must compliment you on your powers of deduction.
Yeah, and I might compliment you on the way you popped off of the radio tonight of all the cheap publicity seeking...
Now, Inspector, you know I wouldn't stoop.
You'd stoop to pick up a half-smoked cigar if you thought there was a story under it.
And that, I take it, is another compliment.
You can take it any way you like. What I want you to tell me is...
Do I know who murdered Mrs. Spencer?
Well, do you?
If we're going to play murder, don't you think we ought to turn off the light?
Come on, Franklin. You're not broadcasting now. What do you know?
As a matter of fact, I do know something.
Yeah, I got that idea.
But I can't tell you about it.
Why not?
Because it wouldn't do any good. I think I know who murdered Mrs. Spencer. But as you know, proving it's another matter. I need a little time.
How much time?
Till tomorrow night.
That's fine. And by that time, the murderer's in another state laughing at us.
Sure.
Shut up, Andy. I don't think so. You see, there's a lot of funny things mixed up in
Why
this
don't
case.
you quit stalling and give me the facts?
Now, look here, Fitz. I've never let you down before, and I'm not going to do it this time. But you give me until tomorrow night to get my story, and I'll tell you everything.
And you won't tell me now?
I can't.
All right, if that's the best deal I can make.
You won't regret it.
All right, Jerry. But I'm going to hold you to that. And if you're pulling anything or trying to, you're going to have a lot of explaining to do. Good night, Jerry.
Good night.
Coffee, laddie.
Put it down, McNulty.
What's your idea of getting us in deeper?
Well, Andy, that gal's on the up and up. If I'd let him take her downtown, they'd have given her a pretty rough time of it.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. It's a comfort to know someone believes in me.
Well, good night, folks. As long as my rent's paid, I might as well go home.
See you early in the morning. I'll probably have a plan worked out by then.
Good night, Miss Kramer.
The name's Connor. Good night, Andy.
Good night.
Well, will you do the honors and pour?
Certainly. Well, I suppose I'd better be going, too.
Going where?
Oh, I don't know. I'll find a place.
Don't you know that every cop in New York City is looking for you?
But I can't stay here.
Why not?
It's hardly the thing to do, is it?
Now, see here, young lady. Nobody's going to harm you, and this is probably the only place in town where they won't be looking for you.
You're really much nicer than I have any right to expect. But, you see, I just couldn't do it.
Oh, Mary, it's only for tonight until I get a few things straightened out. Well, why ruin our chances of solving the case by walking into the arms of the police?
But it's just one of those...
All right, then that's settled. You sleep in there, I'll take the couch, and McNulty will be chaperone. Okay?
All right, Jerry. You win.
Good.
And now I think I'd better be going to bed. It's been a pretty long day.
Don't worry about it. It'll all come out in the wash.
Good night, Jerry.
Good night, Mary.
Where boss sleep tonight?
Right here, McNulty.
Good night. Hey, music all loud and around you, and they come out here.
Good morning, McNulty.
Boss up already? Me go catch him Dr. Quick. Boss, he must be sick.
You catch him breakfast and lots of bacon, McNulty. Nothing like bacon to stick to a man's ribs and give him strength.
All right, lots of bacon, lots of bacon.
Good morning, Mary. Are you awake?
Yes. Good morning.
Fresh as a daisy. Do you want to sit down while we wait for breakfast?
Fine. You certainly act as though you'd solved everything.
I have. Do you remember what Mohammed did when he wouldn't go to the mountain?
What?
The mountain came to Mohammed.
Haven't you got that backwards?
Now, don't interrupt. It's the way we're going to handle Danker.
But how?
Now, stop asking questions while the oracle is spouting. It is related, young woman, that on the night following this day of sunshine, one of Ali Baba's 40 gunmen, to wit, one Martin Danker, shall come seeking us.
Just like that?
Just like that. Only in this pretty tale, he comes with the aid of modern invention and a couple of ether waves.
You mean you're going to broadcast a sort of appeal to him?
Well, with becoming and quite unaccustomed modesty, let me remind you that dowager and debutante, broker and butcher, lawyer and liar listen to my broadcasts. Even you listened, and last night the cops listened. So why not an ambitious criminal?
He might.
Hey! She didn't stay here.
She did. Now sit down, Andy. Stop asking questions and find out what Napoleon's going to do.
Go on, you can't sell me on that horse. I saw him run at Belmont last year, and he couldn't win a race with 5 legs and an outboard motor tacked onto his tail.
That was another Napoleon.
Oh.
Now, this is as easy as selling gold bricks to a sucker. And that means, Andy, I've got to have your help.
I ain't no sucker.
No, Martin Danker's the sucker. And tonight we're going to bring him to us on the run.
How?
By using Broadway's best-known line of salesmanship. By promising him something for nothing. Andy, do you suppose Danker remembers trailing us to Major Bliss?
Why not?
Because if he does, he's going to want to go there again tonight after the broadcast.
And what then?
We'll be waiting for him with open arms.
But, Jerry, I don't understand. I don't get
I'll
the
explain
idea.
to you on the way to the Major's. In the meantime, Mary, you look around the apartment and see if there's any alterations you want made.
Alterations? What do you mean?
Oh, just a little idea I whipped up. Come on, lame brain.
Where boss he go this time, please?
Crazy, I think.
What? Again?
Don't you trust me, Mr. Gordon? All I'm asking you to do is to buy an extra 15 minutes time at 11:15, 1 hour after I've finished my regular broadcast.
It can be arranged. The King's Hotel is willing to go on later. But I don't see why you want 2 broadcasts the same evening. It isn't good business.
It's good business to be first with the news, isn't it?
But what are you going to say?
At 11:15, I'm going to tell the world who murdered Mrs. Spencer.
And the whole city will be tuned in, Mr. Gordon.
Well, I don't know.
All right, have it your way. You had your chance.
Now, wait a minute. Don't be in such a hurry.
30 seconds, Mr. Franklin.
It's no use, Johnson. Gordon's garters have let us down at last.
Gordon's garters have never let anybody down. All right, I'll take the extra broadcast. But if this isn't on the level, Franklin,
10 seconds.
You won't be sorry, Mr. Gordon.
Come on.
Good evening, friends. This is Jerry Franklin coming to you with the compliments of Gordon's garters and bringing you hot news fresh from happening, so lean closer. Tonight, and in line with our policy, I'm going to give you the news first. I'm going to tell you the story of a mysterious $5 bill. An ordinary 5-spot that may prove the solution to an extraordinary murder. Written across its face is a code that makes it the most unusual piece of currency ever turned out by Uncle Sam's printing presses. But because of the unusual situation involved, it has been necessary to purchase additional time on the network. So at 10:15, I shall sign off. But 1 hour later, I'll be back on the air with the most startling story ever heard south of Alaska or north of the Rio Grande. I'm sorry it isn't possible to give you the whole story now because there's one final act to clear up. The code on the $5 bill, the meaning of which will make police history, has remained undeciphered until tonight. In fact, its true meaning was discovered only a half hour ago. Now, the moment your correspondent signs off, he is rushing from the studio to the home of the famous authority who has solved the code. But remember, at 11:15 sharp, I'll be back with the news to tell you first. So stay tuned in on the station to which you're now listening and wait for 11:15.
They didn't try to stop you?
I came down the freight elevator.
Do you really think Danker will fall for this?
He won't miss. With Danker a prisoner, we'll rush back to the studio and broadcast the story before the newspapers get a hold of it. Then we'll talk about those alterations in the apartment. I'll give them a half hour to get here and take odds that it's less. Major Bliss waiting for us.
Won't you come in, sir?
Hello, Major. Everything all set? Oh, Major Bliss, I want you to meet Miss Connor. It was her father that paid out the ransom money.
How do you do?
How do you do?
After we get Danker in a cell, I thought she could supply some information that really help us solve the code on that bill. You know, Major, sure is a gag, this radio broadcasting. For instance, I told the folks a story on the air tonight. Of course, there wasn't any truth in it or anything. It's just one of those things that I happened to think of.
You needn't bother about that phone, buddy. The wire's cut. Is this the radio broadcaster?
That's him.
Wise guy, ain't you, Franklin?
It's funny. I had an idea Danker was playing a lone hand.
Sometimes a guy's smart. Lets a couple of pals in on a good thing.
Was he smart enough to tell you I wouldn't come here without tipping off the cops first?
Quit stalling, Franklin. You didn't tip the cops. You was hoping to make this a one-man deal so you could blow about it over the radio.
All right, so what are you going to do? Hold us for ransom?
Maybe.
And the price?
$5.
Well, you don't suppose we carry that bill around with us, do you?
I don't know. You might. If you haven't got it, you can tell us where it is.
I'll make a deal with you. You let the girl go free.
No deal, Franklin. Take him out in the hall, Ed.
What are you going to do?
Right now, I'm going to find out how much you folks think of Franklin. If any of you got an idea where that $5 bill is, you better talk up. Understand?
Oh, he's bluffing.
When there's 200 grand in the pot, mister, I don't bluff.
Wait a minute.
Keep quiet.
I have the bill.
Oh, you can't trust him, Mary.
15, 10, 6, 15.
Well, what does it mean? It's just a lot of numbers.
Spencer was hid away for 2 weeks on Lincoln Street. Number 106. It's a rooming house. The two middle numbers, see? And he was in room 15.
Shut up.
It don't make no difference what they hear. They ain't going no place.
Hold on, smart guy. Just because you got a murder rap hanging over you, ain't no sign the rest of us want one. Get over there, all of you. You too, Grandpa.
Well, why did you let him leave here? He must have gone out the back door.
You've no idea who this expert is he talked about.
I never even heard of the $5 bill before. He's supposed to go in the air in 7 minutes. If he isn't here, I won't pay for the time.
You may have to pay for a funeral from the looks of things.
Better put some ammonia on those hands, Jerry.
Don't worry about me, Major. I'll be all right.
He isn't going to make it. Well, he said he would. He still has 4 minutes.
And he may be 5 miles from here.
Got to hurry. I'm on the air in 4 minutes.
You'll never make it.
I will, too. I'll phone it in. Oh, that's right. It's cut. We'll have to get to a drugstore. Come on, hurry up. One minute, Mr. Johnson.
Well, I guess it's no use.
Give me a nickel, quick.
I got 2 quarters and a dime.
Here.
we'll have to use the sustaining orchestra.
Hello? Wait a minute. Mr. Franklin's on the phone.
Hello, Franklin.
Now, don't ask questions. Hook this line up to an amplifier.
Transfer this call to the control room. Wait a minute. Pull the wires from that box and hook them to an amplifier. Franklin's broadcasting by telephone.
Come along, Inspector. Let's listen to this.
All right, are you ready? This is Jerry Franklin bringing you the most sensational news ever broadcast. All police officers stand by. An hour ago, I promised you the story of a $5 bill. Well, it was this same 5 spot that caused the death 2 nights ago of Mrs. Jess Spencer. She was killed by a taxi driver named Martin Danker as the result of a quarrel of the mysterious 5 spot sent Mrs. Spencer by her husband before he died in prison. On this bill is a code showing the location of $200,000 in ransom money hidden by Spencer before he was captured. And it is still hidden in a house at 106 Lincoln Street, room 15. Danker and his mob are there now.
Come on, Red. Give me an outside line, quick. Police headquarters. Fitzgerald speaking. Call all cars in the vicinity of 106 Lincoln Street. Have them proceed to that address and pick up Martin Danker and his gang. Tell the boys not to take any chances.
The money belongs to Mary Connor, also known as Mary Kramer, in whose apartment the Spencer woman was found murdered. However, Miss Connor had nothing to do with the crime, as 2 witnesses can swear that she was miles away when it happened. And that, folks, is the story you were promised. Right now, the police are probably rushing out to Lincoln Street, and with your permission, your correspondent will sign off and join them. But remember, this is Jerry Franklin bringing you the news first for Gordon's Garters. So long, folks. We can just make it. Come on. 106 Lincoln Street, and hurry.
Here it is, boys.
Cops, come on! The joint's around it, beat it!
Let's go out of the back.
Oh!
Now, you stay here.
I want to go with you.
Andy, keep her in the cab.
Jerry!
Stick 'em up. I hope they're through shooting.
Good work, Inspector. I'm glad you got here.
Yeah. What about the ransom money?
Take a look in this guy's pockets if you want to see something.
Are you all right?
Oh, sure, I'm all right, but this is no place for you. Let's get out of here.
Franklin, wait a minute.
All right, boys. See if those mugs have got anything on them.
Oh, Franklin, about that contract tomorrow. No, I'll give you anything you want.
Mr. Gordon, I've got what I want. Through the park.
First thing we're going to do is get something around your arms.
Well, if you ask me, I'd rather have my arms around something.
Hi there. I'm Randall Schaefer. Most of you see me on YouTube. Thank you to all the YouTube people who watch us. We appreciate it.
Coming soon to Hastings Mystery Theater, The Phantom Fiend, also known as The Lodger. This 1932 movie fits the multiple genres of mystery, action, horror and crime. A maniac, who stalks and murders street women at night, is terrorizing London. Michael Angelov, a Hungarian musician, takes lodgings with the parents of Daisy Bunting, and the landlady suspects that her new lodger is the madman. Don't miss The Phantom Fiend.
What was it like to go to the movies in the 1930s? The experience of going was like an insidious, tempting candy we could never get quite enough of. The visit to the dark theater was an escape from the drab realities of the Depression-era living, and we were entranced by the never-ending variety of stories. Even at the Great Depression's lowest point, 60 to 80 million Americans attended the movies each week, and in the face of doubt and despair, movies helped sustain national morale. Although the screwball comedy was the most popular movie genre of the 1930s, the Western was the most popular B-movie genre, by far. A movie viewer favorite lasting into the 1940s. Murder mystery movies, however, were popularized in the early 20th century before film even had sound. Taking inspiration from the 19th century works of Edgar Allan Poe and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and later, Agatha Christie, the popularity of these detective stories lasted well into the 1940s. Hastings Mystery Theater, where time travel is possible. Come with us as we take you back to a simpler time, back through the corridors of mystery, with murder mystery movies from the 1930s and 40s. If you'd like to show your appreciation in a tangible way, then why not partner with us by giving us a one-time small donation? We'd appreciate that, as it will encourage us to keep them coming, bringing these forgotten gems to you on a regular basis. Simply click on the donate link below, in this video's description, and while you're right there you can click on our mystery merch shop as well. Or visit us on Facebook. Or find our free bonus movie link. Thank you so much.
Please consider leaving us your thoughts in the comment section, as well as giving this video a like, and subscribing to our channel. Also, check out the link in the description below. Click the link to enjoy a free bonus Hastings Mystery Theater episode. Thanks again for your kind support that enables us to continue bringing you these great old classic black and white movies.